Now, there is a picture which is doing the rounds of the internet and apparently is getting plenty of comments. It is of an older bloke who thinks the idea of being forced to wait even longer to eventually get a pension that he's paid his whole life for, well, it annoys him. And this is a problem that is happening for many people over a certain age. Now, for many years, we have slowly but surely been pushing away the retirement age. You can go all the way back to Joe Hockey and conversations about people not getting the pension until they're 70. And changes since 2017 hit their final limit as of the 1st of July, which is we go from 65 and a half years before you can get your pension, now to 67. Now, while that doesn't seem like a huge amount for somebody who's nowhere near those years, if you are near those years, every month counts. And the reality of Australia is that there's a chance that it could go even higher. Suggestions are, according to the think tanks from universities where their plan is to not work until they're 70 or even 5 days a week, is that the retirement age in Australia should go way beyond 67, and within the same period of time as the Prime Minister and the Teals hope to heal the planet by dealing with 1% of the world's climate problems, we should be waiting until 70 before you can get the pension.
So if we take the proportion of retired people relative to working people in 2018, and you say, well, let's try and keep that proportion constant, then we need the pension age to slowly rise until about age 70 over the next 30 years, up until about 2050.
Now, let's see whether the opposition's going to come out and say, no, the number where it is where it stays, or whether the boffins who advise the Treasurer slowly but surely say it's only 6 months and then 6 months and then 6 months and then 6 months, or the pension age will be pushed out to 70. Now, the logic here is obviously by pen pushers trying to work out X number of people equals Y number of dollars, but in the real world, this is hundreds of thousands of people who are caught between perhaps the job they wanted to do their whole lifetime and the ability to get a pension to help pay for their lifetime in retirement. It means there are hundreds of thousands of people who want to work who can't. As we talk about a lot on this show, the ultimate ism in Australia isn't racism or sexism, it is ageism. We do not hire people for the jobs to lead companies or be managers in their 50s. Instead, because the decisions are often made by people in their 30s, they try to punt people as soon as they go past 45. Well, I love this bloke who decided to hold up a sign, and he's got a lot of attention on the internet here, that only somebody who worked in an office their whole life would think that you can work till you're 70. Because the reality is that if you work with your hands or you put your back into it, obviously, physically, stuff gets a lot tougher after you go to 50, let alone 60. Plenty of people have joined the bandwagon after this thing went up on Facebook, reported by the Daily Mail this afternoon. My body is just tired. As my husband, who is 66, we both just need to rest now. We'd planned on a retirement at 65, then they changed the goalposts. Another one. I worked 43 years as a butcher. I'm almost 65 years old, and I think I've done enough. My body agrees. Another one. I spent many years in a quarry as well as in a coal mine. My body is physically worn out. So I 110% agree with this poster. Another one. My husband is 60 now and in a physically demanding job. His body is saying enough. And another one. He's done his job. He's raised a family. He's put food on the table. This is a wife writing about her husband. A roof over our head. He's earned the right to slow down and enjoy some time doing what he wants now. Now, these are big, real-life issues. Now, so often, politicians and politics doesn't talk about things that actually improve people's lives. Oh, one day we'll deal with homelessness. It gets worse every year. We'll build more social housing. The number of people waiting for it gets longer each and every year. We'll do something about the cost of living. Everything gets worse in 12 months' time. Now, while this was a decision made by the Abbott government way back when, it hasn't been changed in the multiple Prime Ministers since. But if there is a politician that is willing to, like Peter Dutton suggests, let people in their 60s make it easier for them to work, and people, once they eventually get to pension age, to be able to start to supplement their income and not get punished for it, they are going to move votes. Now, I would love to see the people in Canberra who are currently at the nerd school formal, the midwinter ball. Oh. I hope this is a topic of conversation, but I think you know and I know that it'll be one of the last things they'll talk about. But the reality is, for hundreds of thousands of people who work damn hard, physically hard, harder than I will ever work in my life. I'm talking about my brother, I'm talking about, who's obviously younger than me, my father, who obviously worked his backside off as well. These people are the people that live amongst us. They are our friends, they are our family, or many of them might be watching us right now. I just wanted you to know that somebody is noticing, that they are constantly moving the goalposts, and the plans are to move them even further down the road. That will result in serious financial problems for people. So we need serious effort from government in public education campaigns where they tell us about everything from climate change to how to drive safely on the road, to actually start telling people in business to hire people over the age of 50 and keep them all the way until they retire. Stop handing out gold watches to people in their late 40s and find ways to keep people with experience at the front line of the job. Now, while they may not be as woke and they probably roll their eyes at welcome to country, these people know what they're doing and should still be at the front of the bus when it comes to the Australian business community.